With the 6th pick in the draft, the Detroit Red Wings select from Mannheim of the DEL, Moritz Seider.
5. That's how many players were drafted before Moritz Seider in the 2019 NHL draft. As I record this video, Moritz Seider had a remarkable rookie season, quickly cementing himself as one of the best young defensemen in the NHL. Seider finished the season with 50 points in 82 games, good enough for 4th in rookie scoring, and also won the Calder Trophy, becoming the first German player to win the award. He was the highest rookie scoring defenseman in the NHL by a wide margin, leading the player in 2nd place by nearly 20 points. Seider has done nothing but impress. It's crazy to think that there were 5 players drafted ahead of him in the 2019 NHL draft. So we're going to take a look at Seider's career before he hit the NHL and headed up to the 2019 NHL draft, and as well as looking at the 5 players drafted before Moritz Seider and see where they are now in terms of their NHL careers. Before we start, I see that only 93% of you are not subscribed to the channel, so please, if you could, like and subscribe for more awesome hockey videos. Anyways, enjoy! Seider had an incredible draft-eligible year. Playing with Mannheim in the German top-ranked DEL, the right-handed rearguard scored 2 Genos and 6 points. That total is the 2nd most ever by a U18 defender in the league. Despite a shoulder injury that sidelined him, he seemed only to get better as the season went on. He helped Mannheim win a DEL championship title, collecting 5 apples in 14 games. He was also named Rookie of the Year in the DEL. After Seider was drafted 6th overall, he spent the 2019 season with the Grand Rapids Griffins, in which he scored 22 points in 49 games. In the 2020-21 season, Seider was supposed to return to the AHL, but the pandemic forced him to take his talents to Sweden. Joining Rogala, Seider received permission from the Red Wings to spend the entire season overseas rather than leaving halfway through and returning to North America. This allowed him to focus on his development. The 6'4" defenseman flourished with his new squad and quickly became one of the brightest stars of the entire league, which is pretty impressive for someone his age. Along with making strong offensive contributions, Seider has also showcased his physicality in the defensive zone, as he won numerous puck battles in the corners and removed opposing skaters from the front of the net. Appearing in 41 games, Seider produced 7 Genos, 28 points during the regular season. Helping Rogalog advance to the championship finals, the top defenseman recorded 1 Geno, 5 points in 13 playoff games. In that season, Seider also earned the SHL Defenseman of the Year, which is the SHL's version of the Norris. We covered Seider's career before his rookie season in the NHL. Now it's time to take a look at the 5 players that were drafted before him in the 2019 NHL draft. At number 5, the Kings picked Alex Turcotte. Alex Turcotte has not been healthy for most of his pro career. The former 5th overall pick in the 2019 draft has suffered some injuries that have costed him time in development. With skating being his biggest asset, he will fit right in with the NHL style game. Turcotte is a gifted playmaker and can play a regular shift as well as special teams. With the Ontario reign of the AHL, Turcotte scored 6 Genos and 12 apples for a total of 18 points in 27 games. The 2022-23 season is now or never for Turcotte. He already made his NHL debut in the 2021-22 season and has played in 8 games for the Kings. But if he doesn't play at least 20 games in the NHL and make an impact, he may be discussed in trade possibilities. So hey, you may never know what happens. There needs to be a way for him to stay healthy, be a regular on the Kings, and contribute sooner rather than later. At number 4, the Avalanche picked Bowen Byram. The former 4th overall pick in the 2019 NHL draft has suffered multiple concussions since his NHL career began, and it has taken a toll on the young player's quality of life. Not only did he express early retirement, especially not at the level he strives for every night, but it was also apparent that even living everyday life was a struggle. That's why it was such a huge deal when Byram came back on the ice looking and feeling more healthy than he has. The hockey world has seen plenty of talented players retiring after symptoms of concussions, and it would have been devastating for a young player like that to move away from the sport. But against all odds, Byram came back to play the rest of the 2021-22 season and finished with 17 points in 30 games and helped the Avalanche win the Stanley Cup. At number 3, the Hawks picked Kirby Dach. Kirby Dach hasn't exactly panned out like many fans hoped he would when the Hawks drafted him 3rd overall in the 2019 draft. Dach looked solid during his rookie season, putting up 23 points in 64 games before playing the best hockey of his professional career in that year's Stanley Cup playoffs. Heading into his sophomore season though, he suffered a wrist injury while playing for Team Canada in the 2021 World Juniors. The injury delayed Dach's start to the 2020-21 season, sitting out the first 2.5 months before making his debut in late March, in which he finished the season with 10 points in 18 games. Many hockey fans are upset with Dach's growth, and rightfully so. It's always tough to see a young player go through ups and downs, especially one with so much potential. Although there are areas of his game where he needs to step up, though there shouldn't be a reason to panic. Dach was recently traded to the Montreal Canadiens, but I'd love to see him step up his offense and be a key part of the Canadiens' future. He may just do that, or he may turn into a reliable two-way middle six center. Despite his slow growth, fans need to remember he's still young and still has plenty of time to improve and reach his potential. At number 2, the Rangers picked Kaapo Kakko. During his draft season, all Kakko did was become the most prolific U18 goal scorer in Liga history. Kakko's 22 Genos bested Alex Barkov's record of 21, and he did that in 8 fewer games. He finished with the 3rd highest point total for a U18 player in Liga history, as well only behind Mikael Garland and Barkov. What made Kakko one of the best Finnish prospects in NHL history was his ability to play a skilled game with aggressiveness rarely seen by a teenager playing against the men. He was strong and sturdy on his feet, attacking the play with and without the puck. Kakko showed elite board play with the ability to work a cycle or break the puck out of a pile and make a play with it. Kakko had a solid rookie season in the NHL, scoring 10 Genos with a total of 23 points in 66 games. People label Kakko as a bust, but I don't see it. He still has a long ways to improve. He has all of the tools and was forced into a role and style of play that wouldn't have suited any player taken near the top of the draft. Let Kakko be Kakko, and we'll see the offensive skill come back to life, and his development as a two-way player will make him all more valuable in the NHL. But just like what I said about Turcotte earlier in this video, he may be traded. So hey, you may never know what happens. At number 1, the Devils picked Jack Hughes. Jack Hughes comes from a family of hockey. His parents both played hockey. His older brother Quinn was drafted 7th overall in the 2018 NHL draft by the Vancouver Canucks. His younger brother Luke plays for the University of Michigan and was drafted 4th overall by the New Jersey Devils in the 2021 NHL draft. Heading into the 2019 draft, scouts peppered reports with the word elite, as Hughes set a new points record at the U.S. National Development Program. He was literally skating circles around junior and college level competition. He was a can't-miss material, the no-brainer 1st overall pick. Fast forward a year, and pockets of the hockey community have grown dismissive of the pre-draft hype. Hughes was underwhelming as an NHL rookie, a hotshot kid who looked out of place in all 3 zones on the ice. In his rookie season with the New Jersey Devils, Jack Hughes played in 61 games, scored 21 points, 7 Genos, and 14 apples, before the 2019-20 season was paused due to the coronavirus. Hughes took a big step in the 2021-22 season. Unfortunately, he was injured for a lot of it, but he should be much healthier going forward. Once he gets bigger, faster, and stronger, that shouldn't be too much of a problem for him anymore. He scored 26 Genos and had 30 apples for 56 points in 49 games played that season. That is a 93-point pace for him at 20 years old. He turned 21 after the season ended. The fact that he is just scratching the surface of his potential with those numbers is scary, and I truly believe that Jack Hughes could potentially win the MVP in the coming years. We've looked at every single player that was drafted before Moritz Seider in the 2019 NHL draft. It makes it more crazier how Seider was drafted 6th overall, even though the mock draft said he'd be a mid-first round pick to a 2nd round pick. Lottery picks aren't everything in the NHL, and not like the NBA how only the best players come in the top picks, and with the exception for a couple. The NHL draft is filled with hidden gems, and Eisman was lucky enough to find that hidden gem in Moritz Seider. Seider could very well be on his way to multiple Norris Trophy wins in his NHL career, and is looking like the best player from that 2019 NHL draft. Unfortunately, we're running out of time. Comment below on what player I should talk about next. And as always, thanks for watching.